Welcome back to Buy or Invest. And this is a series that I do to go over my thought process on whether I should merely buy into a set because I buy every Weiss set no matter what. I will do this until the day this company fails to deliver sets, right? I.e., go out of business. So I will always be buying this set. How much is dependent on if I want to play it, if I want to collect all the cards, or if I want to go one step further and invest in it. What that actually means is buy more boxes with the eventual thought of selling them in the future. And again, if you haven't heard my speech on this, truthfully for me, what invest is for me is I don't ever want to sell my boxes. I think I want to get to the point in my life where if I have enough money, I want to keep them all for myself just to remember all these great anime and all of that. One day open my closet. If I feel like playing or showing somebody like these anime cards and opening and feel excited and hope that there's some amazing SP inside of it, I think that would be great that I can just do that. So that is my thought again. But if I ever did need the money, the whole investment part is I can sell it, get some money. I think it is valuable, so it should hold value over time, right? So that's what I'm looking to do here. And in order to do that, what I do is I take a look at the anime following, the actual playability of the set. So otherwise, strength. In this case, since this is a volume 2 set, I will be looking back at the previous set. And also, I will be taking a look at the current prices of SPs in the JP version, right? And then also, I'll take a look at any other variables that may skew my decision. Okay, so with that, normally I start out with, again, what I just talked about, looking at the anime following, but I never get to do this really enough. And I want to just take a real quick look at the cards themselves, right? I am a fan of Rin and Saber. I know people like Sakura, because Sakura is always the highest selling cards. But for me personally, I like Saber, I like Rin, and when I take a look at these cards, they are very nice, right? It reminds me of that first series that I've watched. Saber coming out looking all majestic and very serious, and Rin being Rin, serious there. But then you see her cute side. So this series was a lot of fun when I watched it the first time. For me, yeah, why not? Let's collect this sucker. And again, like I said, I always will, so not a problem. Okay, so what I will do now is I'm going to take a look at the anime following. And as you can see, there's a lot of Fate Stay Night. There's so many different versions, and that's what I was talking about. There's just so many of these things that I got to a point where I just couldn't watch it anymore. And you could see right here, they got some pretty high scores. 7-3, 8-2, 8-8, 8-8, 8 6 7. And you can see the amount of members that were on here. 800,000, 800,000, 200, 600, 300, 200. And then you even have even more. Here's Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night, Fate. Yeah, you get it. There's spin offs, Apocrypha. You have, I don't even see Grand Order here. Then you have Elia. So you get the point. There is a lot of Fate Stay Night, I think. And the reason why I showed all this rather than just showing the Heavens Feel is more the fact that you could see that there is a huge following. And anytime you look at anime and there's a huge following, right? Weiss Schwarz looks to capture a certain percentage of those people. It'd be great if they could get right like 200,000 people. That's not going to happen with a card game like this, anyways. Right? So we're going to look to capture a good number of those people and turn them into card playing, buying folks. So with this amount of people, always worth it. Like this set is pretty good just because it has a huge following, right? When you take a look at Fate Stay Night overall, there are millions of games. Obviously, there's not a million, but there's a lot of games out there. There's mobile games, so you can play this on your phone. I don't know if this is still around, but it was there at some point. And then we also have figures. You have tons of actual merch, right? Like you got art books, you got figures, you got T-shirts. What else we got here? You got books, you got pins. So, oh, you even got plushies. Let me go back one. You got some plushies, you got some heads. So, does that say marshmallow? That's pretty good. Okay, anyways, you get the point. There is tons of merchandise. People buy it. Fate has name recognition. It has a great following behind it. People are willing to play the games, buy the merchandise. Definitely, it doesn't need to be something that is playable. This could be more along the lines of a collectible when you think about Weiss Schwarz. Okay? All right, next thing I'm going to do is take a look at the overall strength of the set. And we need to keep in mind two things. This is a volume 2 set, and there is a volume 1. Volume 1 is definitely strong. With volume 2, it will add strength to the actual set. You know, you can use the cards in volume 2 to strengthen volume 1, so plus side there. And one of the things I always talk about is the tier list. So we have here PGH Weiss Schwarz, Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz. So check them out. They do tier list. They have actual Heaven's Feel card set reviews. So when you take a look at the strength of Volume 1 and Volume 2 together, really strong deck, right? Really strong deck. When you take a look at Volume 2 just by itself, not so great. It is not good. It is not something you would want to play alone competitively. You're not going to want to do that competitively. Again, I always said this, and I do have someone that always talks to me about Volume 2. And one of the things I've always said is you can always play any of these sets, no matter what. It could be Volume 2. You can make a deck out of Volume 2. Is it going to be the best thing in the world? Probably not. But at the same time, you can still make a deck, and at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. Again, if you wanted to play competitively, there's other decks out there, right? You could play Kaguya, you could play Data Live, you could play Konosuba if you have it, you could play Adventure Time even, right? So there are decks out there that you can play competitively. If you just are starting out this game and Heaven's Feel 2 happens to be the very first one that comes out that you're able to pick up, then you know what? If you're not looking to play competitively, it's not a bad choice, right? It's something that you like. Having cards that you visually like to play with is a good thing. So again, I would say if you own Volume 1, this is definitely a good pickup. If you are just owning Volume 2, this is terrible. It is really, really bad. Really, really bad. I wouldn't try to play this set competitively, and I would tell people to avoid it at all costs. Okay? Okay. Now, again, we talked about Heaven's Feel Volume 1. It is here. It came out December 13th, 2019. And what we can do here is just take a look at how it's done since it's come out. And as you can see here, again, I'm not saying these things are $450. That's what TCG oh, yikes. I just scrolled down, and this is obviously, if you can't tell, and I've said this on other videos, I just bring these pages up for the most part, and I don't actually look at it until I do this video. And geez, someone bought this thing for $500. So as you can see, booster box of this one, $500. I'm not saying it's worth $500. I'm not saying it's worth $450. What I will say is that's a lot of freaking money. So you could tell, basically, you're not going to be opening this thing for cards, which is unfortunate because right here, the double rares on the set are outrageous. So if you don't already own this set, it's not likely that you're going to be buying Volume 1 unless you just have lots of money. And even then, if you take a look at this, I didn't take a look at it until just now. There's literally one card for Saber here. How about this Sakura? How many cards you got? You got 3. Okay, so this is doable. You could get you could get 7 cards here. And let me just try one more. Who's a good one? Geez, Sakura's everywhere. Give me Rider. How about Rider? We got one card. One card. Okay, so there's some cards, right? So it is doable to pick up some of these cards. I can't imagine you're going to do that at $80 on this one. And how about Rin here? 2. You got 2. 2 at 20 bucks, which seems really awful, especially since 1 month ago they were at 11, 14. So anyways, double rares, that's gonna suck. Volume 1, you're not going to be buying it, and most likely you're not going to be getting this booster box to open. So where does that leave you? Right, so again, two points here. Highly collectible. This set is highly collectible when you take a look at Volume 1, but also highly unavailable. Let's just take a look at Yuyute and look at the Japanese version. So if you saw my video on sign cards, basically, I will explain that one day. I wanted you all to figure out what I was saying. But if you take a look at that video, you'll notice that for the most part, they hover around the same JP prices. You have to keep it all relative. You know, like the Magia record ones were older, but the percent should be about the same, you know, across the board with cards. And when you take a look at the Kaguya, same deal. They should be roughly around the same percentage. So what we want to look at here is the prices on these cards. And again, like I said, Sakura kills it. $298, $198. Who you got next? Rin? So these will be your big cards, right? Your Sakura and Rin. And Rider too, actually. Jeez. Okay, well, those will be your big cards. So you got some pretty solid cards there. What we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 8. 4 out of 8 are above the 100 on the JP versions, which is always a good sign. So these things will be decently expensive. Let's take a look here. What do we got? So right now, boxes are going for $75 on TCG Player. Like I said, there are stores that are starting to sell out. So you need to make sure that if you are going to buy it, 2 things. You compare the price to TCG Player if you want to buy from TCG Player. Like I said, there are other places that have these boxes still. There are stores that I've seen physically and online that have it for lower. I know of one that's $71 and they have 90 of them. Okay, so this thing is still out there. Don't be these people and buy it for $118. They bought 2. See, when I see stuff like this, I'm almost like, this has got to be a straight up scam. Or someone's just joking me. There's no way someone bought this for $118.88. And you didn't even buy 1, you bought 2. That just blows my mind, right? And then $82. So, again, like I said, there is a store out there that... Seriously? Are you... This isn't right. That's not even funny. Like, I didn't know there was more sale. Are you serious? This can't be right. This can't. Sorry, I'm taking up time on this video just to look at these numbers. This is disgusting. Seriously disgusting. Are you telling me somebody on April 28th bought 3 of these at $89 and then in May there was 3 more sales into $89? What is seriously happening here? Stop using TCG Player to buy stuff pre-orders when you got plenty of if this is any of you out there, please, please, I don't care what you do. Go on the Facebook groups, type in Weiss Schwarz English boxes on the internet. I don't care. Don't go to TCG Player and be buying these things for over 80 bucks. That is just seriously sad. Okay? So if that's one of you out there watching this, go to Facebook, go to an online store, call a bunch of physical stores. I don't care. You should not be buying these things at $80, all right? How many of these? Oh my god. 64 at $114. Damn, that's 4 cases. That's 4 cases. Jeez. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about next is supply. And this is perfect example of what I'm talking about here. So this is 64, this is 13. How many were even here? Case. Okay, so we saw from the 7 deadly sins that there was a massive supply issue, right? As in there was too much of it. And as of right now, as I'm talking, there is still a supply issue, right? You see 32 listings and $61.50 with shipping included. That is freaking crazy. You know, we started seeing playsets drop to, I'm just going to say 225. I know there was people selling at 150, 120. There's somebody today selling it for 200. It's freaking nuts, right? The double rares got killed. Here's your double rares. You got double rares all day. And freaking cheap. Deanne is the most expensive one at $9.75. So supply is going to be a big issue when you consider about investing into this set. And like I said, you can see it right here with Fate Stay Night. You already got people putting them out here, and they have cases, right? There's no way that this was just. I can't imagine this person with 10,000 sales just bought 6, right? There's a case back there. This person, 50,000 sales. There's a case back there. This is 4 cases. This person should have 1 case. So we're going to see how bad the supply issue is, because again, I contended this whole time that on my videos that I made from 2 months ago, from a month 2 months ago, that I said watch out for what happens in a month or two, because you're going to start seeing like crazy, I didn't say this part, crazy amounts of supplies, but I could tell right away that this was about to happen. And being that Heaven's Feel too was around that area, I would imagine what's about to happen is we're going to see a ton of supply. Again, I've seen play sets under 300 already on the set. So I wouldn't really go nuts on this set. I know there's some boxes still available in stores. My whole thought process on that is there's 2 things going on, and you have to choose which one you want. Is this set not selling well because it is a weak set by itself? Or is there a whole crap load of supply that people bought? And again, we're going to see 7 Deadly Sins 2.0. To sum it all up, we are left with scoring this stuff, right? So again, anime. So what I mean by anime is the following. We know that Fate Stay Night has been around for a really long time. There's been multiple movies, spin-offs, merchandise, games, and people love it, right? There's still a humongous following. For Weiss to do really well, it needs to pick off some of these people. And we already have people that play this set, so shouldn't be any issue for this set to actually sell. You know, again, from current players to collectors, people that love Fate Stay Night. Meta strength, totally there, right? If you got volume 1, and you buy volume 2, your deck is definitely going to be improved by adding those cards in. Again, not all of these cards are very useful, so if you attempt to make a deck of volume 2 alone, it's going to be a rough go of it. So you're not going to want to do that, right? You could again play that for fun, but if you're gonna look for competitive play, Volume 2 alone is just going to get you messed up. Okay, decision time. So what am I gonna do personally? I'm going to get some for long-term holding. And again, I'm going to get some boxes, store them, not look at them for a really, really long time, hopefully. So, and the reason I come to that is just because there are plenty of Fate fans out there. Some of them, well, actually, I would say most, right? Like, again, you saw 200,000 earlier on one of those. Do 200,000 people know that Weiss exists or want to play it? No, I don't believe so. So at some point, converting them into buying this product is a definite. It would happen one day. I don't see that as being a problem. We've seen how past Weiss products have done over the past year. And again, that was the whole rush and boom, but it also woke up people to the fact that Weiss exists. And some of these people just actually want to collect these boxes or these cards because they just think it's really cool. They love that anime. If I was a player of this, no matter who I was, if I was a person that owned Volume 1, if I was a person that just wants to play Volume 2, I would buy singles. I would avoid playsets. I would not buy a playset unless it drops under a certain amount of money. I don't know what that dollar amount is. Maybe it is under 200, maybe it's under 150. But when you consider this set is not good at all, you know that there's very few cards that make it worth it as Volume 2 alone, not really worth it. If you own Volume 1, like I said, there's only going to be so many cards you need. Why do you need to pick up the whole freaking set? So I wouldn't do that. I would wait the 2 to 3 weeks to buy up the singles. And again, if you really wanted a play set, I would wait. If the supply is what I think it's going to be, again, you could debate me on that. But if it is what it looked like with Seven Deadly Sins, you're going to be in for some sales. So out there. Anyways, that is all I have for today. Look forward to seeing a bunch of the future sets. I can't wait to review and take a look at Slime and Quince and Data Bullet, Ruby, Hollow Live. All this stuff is just amazing. Rent a Girlfriend. Jobless Reincarnation. I don't like. I know people will fight me on that, but you know what? It wasn't that great of an anime. It was just okay. Okay, so anyways, those are to come. So hopefully you have a wonderful night and good luck on the pools on Friday.